Today as a nation, we are dealing with a problem that I feel easily could have been solved many years ago and affected people's lives for no real purpose. The United States military is still in Afghanistan fighting for a reason that commonly confuses many citizens. According to CNN News, there are twice as many troops in Afghanistan today than there were when President Obama announced he was pulling them out in 2011. Our young men and women are over there fighting in a war that doesn't even make sense to them. We have been in this war and other wars in the Middle East as well for far too long, and the faster we get out of it, the better off we'll be. Parents of soldiers fighting over there deserve the freedom from fear every time they hear news about the war in Afghanistan. These parents are scared for their children's lives. One of the things about Afghanistan is that it isn't really clear as to why we are there in the first place. It basically started when the World Trade Center was attacked and so many lives were lost. This attack was organized by Al-Qaeda, which is a terrorist organization in the Middle East. The main purpose for this attack, according to 9/11 Memorial, was since the Twin Towers were symbols of American power, it would promote widespread fear throughout the country and severely weaken the United States' standing in the world community, ultimately supporting their political and religious goals in the Middle East and Muslim world. The U.S. felt that they needed to retaliate as quickly as possible, and at this point in time, the American public was generally behind them. "We should get the people who attacked us," as Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said. So at first, when we went into the Middle East and into Afghanistan, our primary objective was to defeat the Taliban government in the fall of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. This has been a long, yet barely successful struggle that is still ongoing today. One reason that the United States is still in Afghanistan is the relationship between Presidents Barack Obama and Hamid Karzai is very strained. This makes negotiating a little harder to do, especially because the Taliban has a different view than President Karzai. The Taliban announced that they are suspending the preliminary peace talks with the United States. Many people today, especially troops' families, don't want their sons and daughters to be there risking their lives without seeing the purpose of our troops being there. President Obama says, "The United States has a real but limited interest in the stakes in Afghanistan." The natural instinct for most people is to pursue real but limited ends. One large reason why our military is still in the Middle East is that the U.S. is headed towards complete dependence on foreign oil. The U.S. invaded the Middle East to free up production. That is basically why we are still there today, despite the fact that the American lives are at risk. This war is a long dispute that is just in the Middle East. The war in Afghanistan has caused lots of contradiction for citizens and in the White House. At this point, there is no obvious end for the war in Afghanistan. Many people all over America would like for the fighting to stop. According to a recent national poll, the support for the war has dropped below 20%. CNN.com. President Obama has stated many times that he wants to get out of the war. General David McNiernan, the general in charge of the United States military, thinks that the answer is to send over a lot of troops at once to finish off the job as quickly as possible. He's been trying recently to find the happy middle since the public doesn't really support this action. The United States troops are still in Afghanistan and other Middle East countries despite not a lot of support by the American public. This war is not World War II in Nazi Germany where the whole world is in danger. Negotiations are the only real way we can end this war that has taken the lives of over 2,300 American soldiers since the start of the war, according to NewYorkTimes.com. The fact of the matter is, there is simply no way that the war in Afghanistan will ever come to an end until we as a nation figure out a way to negotiate with these people. This means until that point in time, our soldiers, our citizens, our friends, and our family members will have their lives at risk until the day we are officially out of this war in Afghanistan.